Hello guys and welcome back to Happy Freak Friends. I'm Chris and we're playing again the Elder Scrolls Online, and it's another build for new players, which in my opinion is my second favorite build, and very effective. Many people like it because it's the Magicka Sorcerer build. This is a pretty straightforward build. Many people play with Magicka Sorcerers. I've seen many, of course there are different builds about the Magicka Sorcerer, which is so popular, but I'm gonna show you my version. If you want to use it, you're welcome to, because it's a very nice build. And without further ado, let's start with the race and the boon. Alright, for this I'm playing with a Breton, which is one of my favorite Magicka builds, Magicka races. To be honest, you can go with High Elf, a typical High Elf of course, or even a Khajiit, but I'm using a Breton because of two specific reasons. It gives you more Magicka, spell resistance is also, this is a third reason as well, and Magicka recovery. Okay, there are so many reasons you can go with a Breton, and also reduces the magic cost of your abilities. It is very important, because in comparison with the sets I'm using, you basically run out of Magicka in very slowly. So plenty of resources, and also plenty of Magicka. And let's go with the boon. The boon here is the one that actually is the most interesting and the most buffed, if you can say so, after the latest updates, which is the Thief. Just in case, if you don't know where to find this boon, just go over on the top of the map, on the east march, and you will find it down here. Now let's go to see our champion points, where you can distribute your champion points. So again, crafting champion points are not necessarily to be placed on the same spot, so you can do it as you please. The red ones, the fitness ones, I'm going again with the typical fortified, rejuvenation. The siphoning spells for magical builds is, instead of the blood renewal, you go for the siphoning spells to get more Magicka. And again, I'm going with an expert evasion, since for 2 roll dodges you just pay 1. And for the warfare skills, I'm going with the fighting finesse, the deadly aim, the master at arms, and the biting aura. In case that you're flanking, if you're playing on 90 degrees left or right of a boss or behind him, you can go for the backstabber. You can just swap from Master at Arms to backstabber when the boss is not facing you. Now let's go for the sets. So first of all, I'm using the Inferno Staff of Mother Sorrow, a typical Mother Sorrow set that everybody's using. Best set in my opinion. Of course it's better to use the Mother Sorrow set all times, but I never found the falsest god Inferno Staff. That's why I'm using the Inferno Staff of Mother Sorrow. If I would have found the false god Inferno Staff, I would have swapped it and I would have as clothes the Mother Sorrow clothes, so I would be using the Mother Sorrow all the time, front and back bar, but unfortunately I never had the chance to gain it. So again, Inferno Staff of Mother Sorrow or False God Inferno Staff, it's the same way, even better, because you will get all these beautiful critical all the time, at all times, back or front bar. For the back bar we got the Maelstrom Inferno Staff. If you don't know if you're capable of beating the Maelstrom Arena in early levels, I can guarantee that you can do it. You can watch the video that I've made. As soon as you will reach 160 CP level, you are capable of doing it without problems. Just watch the video, you will understand it's not very big of a deal. And you can just farm the Maelstrom Arena until you will get the Inferno Staff. So for the staves, for the front, back stave, it doesn't matter if it's going to be the Mother Sorrow or the False God Inferno Staff, you will go with the flame damage glyph and the precise trait. And on the back bar, the Maelstrom Arena Inferno Staff, you will go with the weapon damage enchantment and the infused trait. I also have to mention, if you're not capable of doing the Sunspire trial for gaining the False God, because the trial is located in elsewhere, maybe you don't have the DLC or you don't feel very convenient with a Sunspire with NSS, in other words, maybe you feel that you're not ready to do it, you can go with two different sets. So if you can't use the False God set, you can go for the Burning Spellweave set, which is absolutely amazing for beginning the game with. That you can get from those two dungeons, City of Ash 1 and 2. If I'm not mistaken, you get the set pretty easily from those two dungeons. And a very powerful set that, if you like, you can use it even in late game. Many people doing it actually after nerfing the critical chances, is the Medusa set. Of course, the Medusa set is a heavy set, so that's why it's better to farm Ark's Corinium dungeon in Veteran in order to get already purple. Because you cannot use the clothes, since you are a magic build DPS, so you cannot use the Medusa clothes since they are heavy. So you have to go for the necklace and the rings, as well as the Inferno staff of Medusa, which is pretty rare, so you will have to farm it a lot. You have to be capable of playing in Veteran. If not, you will farm it in blue condition, which is not bad, but afterwards it's going to be difficult, especially the jewelry, to upgrade it into purple, into epic. And for the monster set, the head and the shoulders, we're gonna go with the Maw of the Infernal, which you can get from the Banished Cells 2 Veteran dungeon. Is a very hard dungeon to accomplish. If you're not capable of doing this yet, just use the Slime Crow, which you can get from the Way Rescuers 1 Veteran dungeon, which is pretty easy. It's not big of a deal. You can do it after reaching 160 level pretty easily. 160 CP level. So you can use Slime Crow instead of Maw of the Infernal. Later on you can play for the Maw of the Infernal, and whenever you will be ready to go for the Zan from the Scale Color Peak. This is a very hard dungeon to play in Veteran. If you will be, I never accomplished it in Veteran, to be honest, because the Zan is the perfect monster set for this build. But Maw of the Infernal is a good alternate choice. This one again, Maw of the Infernal and Shoulders of the Infernal. In order to get the shoulders, you will need 5 Undaunted keys. You can get them by finishing pledges, daily pledges. If you don't know where to find those daily pledges, you can find them in any alliance. I prefer to go on Grachtwood and get it from there, from here. So the daily pledges are there. Now, for the skills. So we will start from the back bar, that most of our skills are AoE and damage over time. First one is Degeneration. In order to get Degeneration, you will have to unlock the Mage's Guild and reach it up to level 4, if I'm not mistaken, so you can unlock the Entropy. And the Morph is gonna be the Degeneration, which deals magic damage over time and also gives you major sorcery and spell damage increase. Next skill that we're gonna use is gonna be the Critical Charge, a typical one. Most of the builds use its Critical Charge. You get it from the Storm Calling skill line. It's the Morph of Surge skill, which gives you major brutality and sorcery, and weapon and spell damage 20% increase for 33 seconds. And while it's active, when you deal critical damage, heals you for 3300 health. Very useful skill. Next skill we're gonna use is again from the same skill line, Storm Calling, is called the Lightning Flood, is the Morph for Lightning Splash, which is an AoE that deals shock damage over time to many enemies. And another skill that is again from the same family, Storm Calling, is the Boundless Storm, the Morph of Lightning form, which makes you faster, increases your physical and spell resistance, and makes damage for 23 seconds. Last but not least, for the back bar, since we got the mighty Maelstrom Inferno staff on the back bar, From the distraction stuff skill line, we're gonna use the unstable wall of elements, and since we will use an inferno staff, it's gonna burn the enemies and makes additional damage. Of course you can go for a lightning staff as well, it's not a problem, but I always prefer the inferno staff. Now for the front bar, we will use again another skill from the mage's guild, which is the inner light, which whenever it's slotted, your max magicka is increased by 5% and also your spell critical rating is increased. You don't use this one, it's just standing over there, just slotted on the front line. Forgot to mention that the back bar ultimate is gonna be again from the distraction staff skill line, and it's gonna be the elemental rage. And that's why again we need an inferno staff, so it increases the damage by 15%. So back to the front bar, and after the inner light that's gonna be slotted there at all times, only at level 2 of mage's guild skill line. It's not that hard to go to level 2 to acquire this skill. So next skill is gonna be a typical crystal fragment. Is the first skill of the dark magic skill line, which deals almost 10,000 magic damage whenever you use it, and also whenever you cast a magic ability, which mostly that's what you're doing. It has a 35% chance of causing your next crystal fragments to be instant, which is going to be red. You will see it, actually it's going to be red, which deals 66% more damage and is cheaper to use it. You will see because it turns into a red color, so you will understand that this is the time that you will use it almost for free and instantly without charging. Next one is Mage's Wrath. It comes from the Storm Calling again. Actually, this is the most important skill line, to be honest. Mage's Wrath, the first skill, which is called Mage's Fury, you turn it into Mage's Wrath, which makes shock damage. And if the enemy falls to 20% health, within 4 seconds of being struck, an explosion deals an additional 13,000 shock damage to them, and also to enemies nearby. A very powerful skill, which is a must to use, in my opinion. Now, the next skill is not a necessity, but I'm using it a lot because it costs stamina, so it's almost free for me for a magicka build, since I don't use stamina for any other reason, and it gives health and magicka, and also more magicka over time. Very useful to get back resources and also health whenever you have a problem. So it's a self-healing and self-resource management skill. A dark conversion for me is very important, especially in solo, is always necessary, since you will need a lot of resources, and you will see it in the rotation which comes next. You can get this skill from the dark magic skill line. It's over there, it's the dark conversion, it's the morph of dark exchange. And the last but not least, again from the same family, is the Daedric Tomb, the Daedric Mines in the beginning. Morph this one and will become Daedric Tombs. Is a very powerful AoE. You place mines on the ground which make a lot of damage and immobilizing the enemy for a couple of seconds. And ultimate, again, if you like, you can change. I'm using the charged Atronach for the ultimate here. You can swap it to something else. Since it's a non-pet build, it's always nice to have a pet, even if this is going to be an Atronach using your ultimate skill. So after that, I will show you the rotation, how to start, how to use all those in a battle. So for the rotation, we will go with the Surge, the Boundless Storm, the Degeneration, the Flood, the Unstable Wall of Elements, the Daedric Tomb, and the rest of the attacks that we got. Of course, very important in my opinion when you're playing solo especially is to have the conversion, because you use stamina and you take back health and magicka, which is the utmost importance for you to gain back during a magicka build, TPS. So you see, if you're low in magicka, you just use conversion, dark conversion. And after you use all your skills, you can use also your ultimate. Just used it on the wrong moment. But generally is a very powerful build, as you can see, with high critical. Amazing build in my opinion, one of the best to use. And that's all you need to know about this build. Of course, food is also very important to have all the time. Food, I don't have anything to recommend specifically because I'm not familiar with this kind of things. With food, I mostly use this kind of potion here, the crown tree restoration potions. And food, I mostly use the ones that you get from daily, the crown fortifying meals, and a simple blue ones, the solitude salmon meal soup. I'm also not a very experienced player, but I know a few things, so I'm just here to explain to you how you can start building a character as a new player. So if you liked the video, guys, and if you found this video useful, please leave a like and let me know if you'd like to see more builds, since I had a few more builds for new players that might be useful for some of you. And also we will go with a tank and a healer, which in my opinion are very, very powerful and very good builds. So thank you all guys for watching. I was Chris X, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Goodbye.